This video covers Chapter Skills Review 13, 13-20 through 13-21. You're going to want to navigate out to where your chapter data files are located. And open up 13-2. You're going to save it as charge card. You can substitute a font if you absolutely need to. I'm going to keep mine as is. I'm okay with how it defaulted. Go ahead and make sure the rulers are displayed. View rulers if needed. And make sure they're set at pixels. Control-click pixels. And make sure your guides are viewing. View, show, guides. I'm going to pull one out to 450 because I know that we need one there. After that, you're going to want to make sure the Super Shopper layer is active, and that would be this text. Drag the bounding box to the left so that the left edge of the S is just to the left of the guide at 135x. Right about there. Okay, and then drag the top middle handle of the bounding box to 290y. Up there. Use the transform command on the edit menu to skew the text by dragging the upper right hand handle of the bounding box to 450x. So edit, transform, skew it to about 450x, right about there. Commit the transformations and then save your work. So double click and then save your work. Now we're going to create warped type with a unique shape. Double click the layer thumbnail on the Photoshop type layer on the layers panel. Change the font size to 72 point. Commit the transformation. Then drag the type's bounding box so that the bottom left corner is at 135x and 150y. And that's about, let's see where that would be located. About there. So right about here. Okay. Open the Warp Text dialog box. Okay, and now we want to open up that dialog box. Okay, and that would be right here. Change the warp text style to arc. You can see that that's happening here. Click the horizontal option button if it's not already selected. Change the bend setting to +52. The horizontal distortion setting to -52. -20. And then the vertical distortion setting to 0. Then click OK. Move the type so that the bottom right corner of the bounding box is at 545x and 150y. I think that would be 545x. Let's find that. $150y. It's right about there. And then 540x. So right about there. So we're right about there. Okay? Okay. Change the type color using the swatches panel to dark violet magenta. Dark violet magenta is right about there. Apply the default drop shadow and bevel and emboss styles to the Photoshop type layer, and then you're going to save your work. Great, and then we're also going to apply a drop shadow. Say OK, and then save your work. Control S. Now we're going to screen back type with imagery. So make the charge layer active. Increase the font size to 80 point. Move the charge layer so the bottom left corner is at 90x and 275y. Duplicate this layer, calling the new layer screen back type. Okay. Control J. Screen back type. And then go ahead and hide the charge layer. Convert the screen back type layer to a shape layer. So now we have it as type, and we want to make sure that that's a shape. Go to Smart Object. And then you can rasterize that as well. So rasterize. Add a clipped levels adjustment layer that modifies the midtones input level to 0.45 and the output levels shadow slider to 136. Okay, so that would be located right here. Add the levels, and then we're going to clip levels, and then we're going to modify the midtones input level to 0.45. Okay, so the input is here to 0.45, and that would be the shadow. This would be the mid-tone, and then this, of course, would be the highlight. So we want that mid-tone change to 0.45. And the output level shadow slider would be set to 136. There we go. And now change the opacity of the screen back type layer to 75. Go here, change that to 75. There we go. Make the backdrop layer active. And then use the sponge tool to saturate the part of the image that is behind the text charge. Okay, let's find that sponge tool, which is located under the burn tool. And we did this in our last exercise, skills review. Then you want to go ahead and bump open the saturation. Make sure that the mode is set to saturate. Flow is at 100%. And you can choose your brush however you wish, but then you're going to go ahead and saturate. Let's make sure that you're getting it a little bit darker here. You can see that charge a little bit more. Go ahead and save your work, Control S, and then create a faded type layer. Make the Super Shopper layer active, and then add a mask to this layer. Select the gradient tool, set the opacity to 70%, select the linear gradient style, I believe it's right here, linear gradient. Then select black, white on gradient picker. So this is a gradient picker here. There we go. Drag a straight line in the length of the text, starting at approximately 155 X to 315 Y. There we go. Clear the guides and hide rulers. Okay, so just make sure your rulers are hidden, clear the guides, and then add some noise to that. Go ahead and add some noise to the with a noise filter on the background layer.